Today we're going to be addressing these cylinder heads, and wait till you see them. They are gross. Well, welcome back everybody to the second part of this build we're doing for the LTD. This is a Junkyard LS, cheap as possible, using the most cost-effective parts on the internet between Temu, Amazon, and eBay. So today we're going to be addressing these cylinder heads, and wait till you see them. They are gross. So I got these cylinder heads that came with the motor as a deal off Facebook. If you haven't watched the last video, go back and watch that. I kind of go over everything and give you an overview of the motor itself, with how I got it, and the story with the motor. Long block essentially was that it had 190,000 miles on it, and when I opened it up, it had pretty much everything there, but it had a lifter, the AFM lifter failure, typical on those year model LS motors. Anywho, these 243s are the best heads you can get for boosted applications. And I went ahead, as soon as I ripped them off, threw them in here, and you can tell, I mean, they've had the miles on them. But there was some rust in some of these cylinders, and some of it obviously got onto the head. But I've had them sitting in here now for a good part of a day or two, honestly. So we're going to clean all the grease off of them first, and then I have to get all the stock springs and valves out and just go through everything as much as possible to prep it. And then we're going to put new springs in there, new seals. I have actually a leftover from my Fox Body or Camaro, one of the two, a set of BTR springs. So yes, it is getting a fancy set of used springs, if you want to call it that, but it's because I had them left over. Now, you can go online and there is dual valve springs for cheaper, but I cannot not use these because I have them. So I'm going to use them. Anyway, that's the plan. Gonna go ahead and start scrubbing these down. Thankfully, all the plugs came out of them. Nothing was stripped or damaged. But the main concern is just gonna be the valves. Once I get the valves out, I'll get to see if they're actually, how they seat, if any of the rust got into there or anything like that. So let me start cleaning these suckers up, put you guys on the time lapse, and then we'll take a look once I get these springs off. Got a little bubble bath on these things. It is far from perfect, but I don't really care that much. So I'm gonna show you guys the two cylinders. If you watched the last video, you know what I'm talking about. Have had water sitting in them when I got the motor. Well, I don't know if you kind of see some rust in there on that hole. Definitely in that hole. Let me get a light. There we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so need to take these valves out. Just saw that when I was cleaning them. Everything else is fine. I mean, it's just those two. So worst case, if you're doing this and you get some cylinders that are questionable and you bring the motor around and everything, but the valves and the seats and I'm gonna take a look at it. Maybe it's just some surface rust and it'll come off, and as long as the guide's all right, we'll live with it. But if the valve's toast, I might need to intake valves, which I'll price in. Find a single valve, they gotta be on eBay or somewhere, right? So kind of always take a gamble when you're doing this thing, but I'm fixing to use the compressor tool, pop all these springs out, all the spring seats, or the springs and the seals and retainers, all that stuff's trash. I will be using, like I said, I had some leftover parts. There's a rear main seal from something. I found these all in the attic, and I had these leftover 660 springs. So, yep, gonna use those. That's for sure. Sure that'll hold at least a couple pounds of boost. And we'll find out if it don't on the dyno. So let me quit yapping, get these springs out, take them all apart, and then I'm gonna flip these. They were right side up. I'm gonna flip them upside down and actually leave them in the tank because it did a really good job. You can see where the line was as far as degreaser goes that's in that wash tank of mine. So I'm gonna flip them and let them soak for a couple days while these parts come around and start showing up. And they might actually clean up good. I might take a little, what you call it? Little brush, plastic brush, shine them up. Someone might have already done it before. I don't know. It wasn't me. I got it like this. Like you see is like how I got it. So let's keep rocking and rolling and try to finish these up so we can get some parts on the way. All right, so I got everything torn apart. All is gonna be okay? Question mark? I don't know, maybe. Two worst holes. Now you can see a lot better. There's some rust in there. There is some rust in there. So we're gonna bring her back around. Let her soak for a couple days in the think tank. I'll probably have to obviously grind, flap the valves and all that fun stuff, but I'll probably be able to get all that brought around. So everything else is just your typical build up from the PCV and then exhaust, carbon, all that fun stuff. So if you are first time use or doing this for yourself or trying to do this yourself, those people out there, I mark everything. Driver's side is D, P is passenger side. Just the way I do it. You can do it however you want. So you have your intake and your exhaust. And what I did is I mark them D1, D2, D3, D4, P1, 2, 3, 4. It probably wouldn't make a difference for this specific thing, but if you were doing something a lot more, well, let's put it this way. If you're doing it the right way, you take it to a machine shop, they'd be doing all this. You wouldn't have to watch this video. But if you're a DIY guy, like you're trying to do this yourself, I just like put everything back where it came from. So I mark it all out, just punch a bunch of holes in the box, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4 for your passenger, and D1, 2, 3, 4. So, like I said, it's gonna have to get cleaned up a little more, and then we'll put some valve compound on there, and we'll just try it. I got the stuff here, so we might as well do it. We'll clean up the little rust holes. I think it'll be fine. I really do. And if it doesn't, then oh well, it doesn't. So that's going to be it. These are going back into the parts tank for a while. Let them degrease even some more until I really get everything off of there. And then, yeah, go from there. Throw some gaskets on them. Put them back on the motor when it's time. So did want to show you too if you might have seen them. I mean, it's just surface rust. It'll be fine. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is that bad? Should I get a new one? I don't know. I've never had rusty motors before, so kind of learning. But then again, it's not costly. It is. And if you got the tools, do it. So send it. Worst comes to worst, there's like always a set of $7.99 243s on Facebook. They pop up from time to time, and if you score a good enough deal, worst comes to worst, if these don't work out, or I can just find another set on Facebook and take the heads off, put these back, a good set on that I know are not rusty. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. No one will know. No one's going to know. I will say on the heads too that I did all the researching stuff as long as I did. It was quite a while. A couple days of looking into head studs, like Chinese head studs versus ARPs. Definitely not going to put actual ARP head studs in there because pretty much half of the parts I would need to rebuild this would be cost the same as doing head studs. So, but what I might do is we might throw ARP bolts in there, and they're on Amazon. Like I said, I'll put screenshots of it, what I found and what I buy, and you can see for yourself. But I mean, they're like $100, a little over $100. And a lot of people run the Chinese Linglong, PQY, what exotic, whatever those are, and half the reviews are like 30 pounds of boost, no problem. And the other half are pictures of them broken in half. So, and they're like $50. So I'd rather spend the $50 more. This is my personal preference because we're going to be boosting the motor, and but having the more potential of lifting ahead is, I'd rather do the ARP route. I'm not doing studs, I'm doing ARP bolts. We might torque them a little more because they're ARPs. So 80, 85 foot-pounds? I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I trust them. ARP's always been proven, so we'll see. I'll have to retorque the heads anyway once this breaks in, the motor breaks in, ring seat, all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's it. Gonna put these in the tank, clean them up, order some more stuff. Then we will be starting to put this back on that motor so we can put it in this, and then we can go down Broadway. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next one, and let me know down low what you think of this rusty LS cylinder stuff. Good? Bad? I don't know. Peace.